Hello everyone. My name is Trupti Hadia, and today the very first day of our presentation. My topic of presentation is Lady Macbeth, the unseen fourth witch of Shakespeare's Macbeth. So let's unveil the ambition, manipulation, and madness. These are the for the element of the Lady Macbeth. These are my personal information. Table of contents and yes, about the author William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare is one of the great novelist, one of the great playwright, poet and actor, and he was born in 1564 in Stratford upon Avon in England, and died in 1660, as he was a national poet of England also. Yes, and his reputation is widely regarded as one of the greatest playwright and English in the English language and worldwide literature. And some key works of him, uh, we can distribute him into three group. Very first is tragedy, Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, King Lear. These all are the tragedy. And then comedies like Midsummer's Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, and The Tempest. Then his histories works are Henry V, Richard III. Yes, about the play Macbeth. So the Macbeth is a five-act play, and his genre is tragedy. It was first performed around 1606 and published in first folio 1623. It was published after the death of Shakespeare, and setting is Scotland and England during the 11th century. And very brief summary of Macbeth is like it is follows the rise and fall of the Macbeth, a Scottish nobleman driven by ambition and spurred by prophecy, and his wife Lady Macbeth. And it has theme of ambition, fate vs free will, guilt, and the corrupting power of unchecked ambition. And now the introduction of Lady Macbeth. She's one of the major character and the vehicle who drives the plot throughout the play in Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is a strong, ambitious, and ruthless character in Macbeth, described as a fiend-like mastermind with a dark nature and the serpent under her deception. These all adjectives describes his personality or inner nature. That he was not he was not directly a witch, but his nature, his such kind of an nature, like a fin-like tart nature, serpent under tea. These all are suggest his nature. Then scheming spouse, Lady Macbeth mastermind the villainly in Macbeth. She was the person who pursued Macbeth or forced Macbeth to do that kind of an thing. And beyond human, her ambition and supernatural ties elevate her beyond human. Like once he also calls the supernatural elements to be more powerful, to fulfill her desire and her ambition. So we can say that he has a quality beyond human. Or evil or witch, the line between evil and witchcraft is blurred. We have seen that Lady Macbeth is considered as the fourth witch of the play, but the line is blurred. How that Lady Macbeth has not directly witches has not directly pushed Macbeth, but it was she was the but it was the Lady Macbeth who directly influenced the Macbeth. That's why the Lady Macbeth is considered as the fourth witch of the this play. And then ambition, she is burning in uncheckable desire to bear the name of queen. She has that kind. She has the kind of ambition and to gain the power to bear the title of queen. This all are suggest his ambitious nature. And Lady Macbeth's role in the play is that she is the puppet master who pulls, often mercilessly, yanks the Macbeth string. The Macbeth's life or Macbeth's deeds are driven or controlled by the Lady Macbeth. Then, by encouraging Macbeth to bring the witch's prophecy to pass, she becomes the effect another witch. She considered as the fourth witch. Then, over the course of the play, Lady Macbeth manipulates her husband and spurs him to kill King Duncan, for she believes what her husband deserves the throne of Scotland. Then her ambition drives the tragedy forward, stealing both their fates. And the Lady Macbeth characters evolution, some phases of her characters like ambition and manipulative, then persuasive and controlling, guilt and deterioration, and then mental collapse and death. So the very first, ambitious and manipulative. At the start or at the beginning, Lady Macbeth is determined to see her husband crown king, and even if it means encouraging murder, she was ready to give the to manipulate the Macbeth in any way to become a queen or to gain the power. And then the line from the play that claims thou art and coder and shalt be what thou art promised, yet do I fear thy nature, it is too full of the milk of human kindness. Here Lady Macbeth is saying to Macbeth that you are too kind, and your nature is too kind. So Lady Macbeth has to spurs him or many or to encourage him to do that kind of an deeds. Then second is persuasive and controlling. Like Macbeth was a puppet controlled by the Lady Macbeth. She manipulates Macbeth, pushing him to act on his ambitions by killing King Duncan. I dared to do all that, become a man who dares do more is none. Lady Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 7 said to Macbeth, he's questioning on her masculinity and encouraging him or saying to do anything to gain the power. And then third would be the guilt and deterioration. Then after the murder, Lady Macbeth begin to unravel, experiencing guilt and growing sense of paranoia. The line is out, damn spot, out, I say out. So this shows the peak of his guilty, his collapse. This all shows the Lady Macbeth's fruit, his fruit of her deeds. And the fourth is mental collapse and death. So overcome by her conscience and the weight of her action, Lady Macbeth's mental state deteriorates and leading to her tragic death. Ultimately, her this all deeds and her mastermind ultimately leads to the her own collapse. She would have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. This is said by Macbeth itself when he was preparing for the fight in the last Act 5. And when he heard the news of Lady Macbeth's death, and at that time he tells that she would have died hereafter. She is not focusing on the news of the death of, but she's what he's focusing on the fight of that time. Then Lady Macbeth challenging femininity and power dynamic. So Lady Macbeth calls strip away her femininity and embrace cruelty to gain power, defying societal norms. Uh, uh, and then come you spirit that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe full of desires, cruelty. This is the line from the Act 1 where Lady Macbeth calls the spirit or the supernatural this element to gain the power to fulfill her desire to do anything. and is contrast line here we can say, we can see out damn spot out I say. So we find the contrast between these two line. From act 1, she's calling the supernatural element to fulfill the desire, her power. And this line out them spot out, this shows the peak of his guilt and the collapse of her character. Then Lady Macbeth as anti-mother. So Lady Macbeth rejects maternal instincts, claiming she would have killed her own child to fulfill her vows. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipples from the boneless gums and taste out, brain out. So here, Lady Macbeth is contrasting with Lady Macduff, where Lady Macduff is described as a caring mother, a nurturing mother. Very little glimpse of Lady Macduff was depicted in the play, but here Lady Macbeth is have contrast on with this character Lady Macduff. Lady here, Lady Macbeth is ready to even kill her own child to gain the power or to for any promising. Then Macbeth remarks upon her utter lack of maternal warmth. Then Lady Macbeth's guilt as a justification for her actions. All her perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten her little hand. This shows the peak of his guilt, that all the fragrance of the Arabia will not able to sweeten her hand or to wash the deeds that she has done. Contrary to the witch's indifference, Lady Macbeth's overwhelming guilt reveals her inner weakness. Then, unlike in Act 1, where Lady Macbeth is driven by ambition and external influence, her mind in Act 5 is consumed by guilt and madness. So, in conclusion, Lady Macbeth's shift from ambition to guilt lead to her tragic downfall, madness, and death. The witches influence the play, but Lady Macbeth controls the action. She can be seen as the fourth witch, remaining guiltless until the end of the driving Macbeth's tragic downfall. Lady Macbeth, like the witches, manipulates events and fuels Macbeth's ambition, making her figurative fourth witch and the pivotal force in her tragic demises. This shows the rise and fall of the character of Lady Macbeth, that how she fueled the to the Macbeth and to do that kind of tragic deeds, and ultimately the result is there that she killed herself. These are my references, and thank you. Now the questions are welcome.
Okay, my question is, what is the significance of the Lady Macbeth sleepwalking scene?
Yes, Sanket, the scene of Lady Macbeth with this the scene of sleepwalking is depicts the guilt and the result of his deeds. Yes, and it shows the tragic end of the play. Next.
Yes, my question is, how does Lady Macbeth differ from the three witches?
Yes, there is a blur line as we have discussed between the Lady Macbeth and the witches, as Lady Macbeth is considered as the fourth witch. So it is not directly all these three witches or weird sister is not directly fuels the Macbeth, but it was a Macbeth who fuels the ambition of Macbeth. His inner all these elements of her characters describe him or differ him from the three witches. Yes, thank you.